Hello friends, welcome back to the Python programming session. In today's session, let's see one of the important programs in Python, that is the Fibonacci series. So friends, what is a Fibonacci series? A Fibonacci series is one of the series which adds the prior two numbers and gives the next number. So by default, we have to consider two numbers, that is 0 and 1. We have to take it by default. And the third number will be sum of these two numbers. When we add 0 plus 1, it becomes 1. So our third number will be 1. And our fourth number will become the second and the third number addition. When we do plus of 1 and 1, it becomes 2. Similarly, 2 plus 1 becomes 3, 3 plus 2 becomes 5, 5 plus 5 plus 3 becomes 8. So, the previous two numbers will be added to get the resulting next number. So, this is what is called as a Fibonacci series. Now, firstly, we have to ask the user to enter the number of terms he wants in the Fibonacci series. So, if user enters a negative number, so initially we'll take a1 is equal to 0 and a2 equal to 1. Those are the two default numbers. And num will be having a value entered by the user for the number of terms. If that particular number is less than or equal to 0, then we print a message telling the user to enter a positive number. So user has to enter a positive number. Else if the number entered by the user, if user enters number of terms as 1, then we have to print the first term, that is 0. So we print A1. And now if in case user enters the number of terms as 2, then in that case we print 0 and then a 1. Else if the number is greater than 2, that is if user enters 3, then it goes in 3 or any other number greater than 2, then it enters into this particular loop. Wherein firstly it will print the default values A1, A2. So 0, 1 it will print and it will give end equal to space. When we give end equal to space, when the next print statement is encountered, it won't come to the next line, but it will give a space and continue in the current line. And then since we have already printed two numbers, our range will start from 2 to num minus 1. So say if it is 3, it will go from 2 to 3 minus 1, that is 2, it will take only one loop. And my fib will become A1 plus A2. So the third element will become A1, A2, A1 plus A2. So fib will become equal to 1. And then for the next number, if user enters 4 or something like that, 4, 5, for the next numbers, A1 becomes A2 and A2 becomes fib. So the addition continues in this particular manner. So now let's take one example where user enters the value as 7. So our series should be 0 is the default, 1 is the default. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. So we have to get 7 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So firstly, let us take a table wherein this is the I value. It will go from 2 to 7 minus 1, that is 6. So it will go from 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. So our I value goes from 2 to 6. And we have to keep track of A1, A2 and then fib. So these three elements we have to keep track of. So our element is 7. So it is not less than 0. So it will skip. It will come to LF. Is it equal to 1? No. It will skip. Else if num equal to 2, is 7 equal to 2? No. It will come to this particular else part. in this particular else part, it will print Fibonacci A1, A2. So on the console, it will print A1 is 0, A2 is 1. So it will print these two values. Then it will go for a range, I in range. Since it has printed two values, it will start from the third element. So it will start 0 and 1 has been printed. So it will start from 2. I ranges from 2. Till n minus 1, 7 minus 1 becomes 6. 2 to 6. Now my fib is having A1 plus A2. What is A1? A1 is 0, A2 is 1 for the second cycle. Then I equal to 2, A1 is 0 and A2 is 1. So it will do fib equal to A1 plus A2. So A1 plus A2 becomes 1. So my fib becomes 1. Then it will print fib. So here it will print 1 and give a space. Then now what happens is my A1 becomes A2 and A2 becomes fib. So my A1 will now become equal to A2 and A2 will now become equal to fib. So A1 is now having the value 1 and A2 is also having the value 1. So this is over. It continues the loop because the loop has not ended. I becomes 3. Fib equal to A1 plus A2. Fib is 1. Fib equal to A1 plus A2, which is equal to 2. So it will print 2. Print fib and end equal to space. So it will print 2 and give a space. Now my A1 becomes A2. A1 becomes equal to A2 and fib becomes equal to A2. A2 becomes A1. Sorry, A1 now will be equal to A2. So it will be equal to 1 and A2 will be equal to fib. So it will be 2. Now my loop continues. It is not ended. So it will perform fib equal to A1 plus A2. 2 plus 1 now becomes 3. And it will print fib. So it will print 3 on the console. And now again A1 becomes A2. A2 becomes fib. So A1 becomes 2 and A2 becomes 3. So A1 in this case is 2 and A2 becomes 3. 2 plus 3 and then print fib. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 and we are printing 5 on the console. Now A1 becomes A2. Fib becomes A2. A1 is A2. So A1 becomes 3 and fib becomes, A2 becomes fib. The loop has not ended. It will be in the sixth loop. It will go in fib equal to A1 plus A2. A1 is 3, A2 is 5. Fib becomes equal to 8. So 8 gets printed on the console. And again A1 becomes A2. A2 is equal to fib. But when it goes, this is not necessary in the last case. But anyway, it will perform. It will do A1 and fib. So A1 becomes 5 and A2 becomes 8. But my loop has already ended. So it does not perform this calculation. So it ends over here. So in this case, our series is first two default numbers, that is A1, A2, 0, 1. And then we perform Fibonacci series by adding these two numbers, prior two numbers. 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8. So we can continue it till any number of items which we want. Since we specified 7, we are considering these 7 items in the Fibonacci series. Hope so friends, it is clear for you. It is a very simple program wherein we take the number of terms by the user. If user enters -1, -2, then it will prompt the user, it will ask the user to enter a positive number. So user cannot enter a negative number. And if it is 1, term is 1, it will print only 0, that is A1. If term is 2, it will print 2 numbers, that is A1, A2. If the term is more than 2, it will perform this calculation. If the term is 3, then it will print 0, 1, 1. For 4 terms, it will print 0, 1, 1, 2, 5, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. So it continues, and this is the way we perform Fibonacci series in Python programming language. Hope so, friends. It is clear for you. If you have any doubts, please do reach to me out in the comment section. If you like my video, click on the like button and please do subscribe to get notifications of my new videos. Till then, see you. Bye bye.